Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Make a Sci-Fi RPG Part 8. We are really flying through these and getting very close to catching up with myself, so that's pretty cool. In the last episode we did a lot actually in the last episode. The kind of most interesting stuff I suppose was the ragdoll physics that we were putting on the enemy so that when it died it would ragdoll and collapse in a heap, which I thought was quite fun. And then we were going into shader graph. Bear with me. Okay, sorry. And I'm back. I got a message here from our course coordinator in college saying that 39% of the class, only 39% of the class have handed up work for one of the modules. So I was just a little bit concerned. I've handed it up, but it was like, I don't know if I've handed up enough or if I've gotten the pass criteria or not. So anyway, he said he'll get in touch with people individually, so let's hope that I have. In the last video, we got the ragdoll working, and then we went on to shader graph to try and get a dissolve effect that I have yet to add on to my enemy, which if you look here, this is my enemy. So we're back in Mudbox. This enemy I made in college, so we didn't get to record me making this. And obviously, if you watched Mudbox Mayhem, you saw how much trouble I had sculpting the original player. So I stopped recording Mudbox quite a lot. But what I want to do is I want to use the mesh I already have to create clothes or armor or that kind of thing. So originally I just had a stencil that I kind of used to sculpt all this detail onto his body without thinking of the fact that he needs, armor or something. He's not going to be naked on the ship. It's not that kind of game. This one's not that kind of game. Maybe one day. So I'm just trying to smooth out all this stuff so I can bring it back into Maya and try and do some stuff. So it's just basically using the smooth brush and going over all the little bits, trying to smooth them out. We don't need to see the whole thing. Again, I was going to leave this video out because this one and the next, well, however many it takes for me to do the armor for this enemy, I'm not. I didn't do a very good job. I'm not happy with how it turned out. So I was again kind of thinking maybe I'll just skip it and not show it. But that's not the point of this channel. Like sometimes you do a shit ton of work on something, you don't get the result you wanted, and then I ended up creating a whole new enemy anyway. So spoiler. Where's my little thing? So we're just smoothing him out, send it to Maya. That was what that little pop-up thing was. And I should probably continue scrubbing because it might take a while to open Maya. So the smoothing in Mudbox seemed to have absolutely no effect in Maya. And I don't know why. Also, I have not done any retopology on this, and that's the reason that I wanted to do the armor, is because the enemies were also quite high poly, and I wanted to lower the poly count on them, so I was going to do some low poly armor and then just keep the head kind of high poly for the detailing. This was before I learned that Substance Painter could be used to mask a low poly object and make it look like it's quite detailed. So I'm basically trying to make it look worse, but I'm doing that on purpose. And in that respect, I succeed. I believe I've just made a cube. Now, this was also before I found out about a really cool tool in Maya called Quad Draw, which like you can just put 4 dots and it will make a quad, and then you can basically draw over, and that's kind of the way retopology in Maya is done. It can be it's a lot quicker than doing it this way, because you can just kind of connect all this stuff out and grow it up. Or I didn't know about it at that stage, which is silly. So instead I'm going to basically trace over this entire model using a cube that I'm going to extrude and move and add other cubes to. It'll take a while. This will just kind of the good thing about this video is it'll show you a little bit more of what like goes into 3D modeling, and how time consuming it can be and kind of finicky. Obviously, I'm rushing this. Again, a lot of these videos, because I have deadlines and stuff, and I'm making things harder for myself and giving myself more work than I need to do, I end up not taking the time I should take in doing some of this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to rush through and just just bang it out, because it's only prototype at the minute. And these are just placeholders, but I'm trying to get the poly count down to get the performance up. So it is something that has to be done. So I've got my cube. I've gone into the vertex mode. So I'll show a little bit of me. Oh, I've just gone and deleted it. Okay. I'll show a little bit of me. What am I going to try and do? I think I was just trying to see if there was a square. There is not. So I go back to the cube. I'll show a little bit of me modeling this, and then I'll scrub through it because it is a lot of the same. And this particular video of me doing this is 2.5 hours long. So I'm not going to leave it at 2.5 hours of watching me just kind of go around a model. Because it's all the same concept. It's all the same work. It's just repeated over and over and over again. So we'll get to that. And that means that we can get on to further stuff. More interesting stuff. We're getting very close to me catching up to myself. Which is good. So then everything will be done live and I can explain it while I'm doing it rather than looking back at it and going, what the fuck are you doing? This in particular is going to be a video where I'm constantly going, what the fuck are you doing? So I'm placing the cube that I've just flattened it down, and I'm kind of just covering his pec. I'm going to go into vertex mode, and you can see I'm using all these different views so that I can make sure it's all lined up, and then I'm just going to move it in. And I'm going to create a shape that conforms to his body as much as possible. The difficulty comes when I add arms and legs. The body's not that hard, it's just time consuming. Yeah. Because when I finished this, I had massive problems with Substance Painter. Whereas the UV maps just weren't working for some reason. I have a theory as to why. And if I remember, I'll get to that when we get to that part of the video. And I sent it off to my course coordinator, and like he kind of got it to see that's not good. You don't want to extrude on vertices. No, do it on the polygons, not on the. No, what are you doing? Our first "what are you doing" moment. I sent the finished model to my course coordinator, and I think he managed to get it kind of working. I also sent it to one of my friends, and he was able to kind of get the UV maps to work as much as possible. As much as possible. Yes, sorry. He got the UV maps kind of working as well, but in the end I just ditched the whole thing and decided to create a new one. Just because I was still having issues with it, even when they'd given me its advice, it didn't seem to want to work for me. So I'm trying to just extrude it down, but it's also extruding out. So I have issues. I have issues with everything. Is that am I on edge? Am I extruding edges? Poly extrude edge. No, you need to extrude faces, really. there's no face on this because I'm just extruding I'm just moving it now. Let's just skip ahead to when I do something better. There we go. That's better. And you see, it's basically just going to be this, covering the whole body, going around the arm. And then I'm going to have to do arms, legs, and then boots and gloves. I can cheat a little bit, but that's fine. We're allowed to cheat. Yeah, I have some issues at the very start. I get into it and start doing things a little bit better. I'm not quite sure why it duplicated these faces, so I'm just deleting them because I just kind of want. I don't know what happened there. Basically, something to do with the way I extruded it. I extruded it badly, so I'm just fixing that error. It's terrible. So it shouldn't be this bit coming down. It should have just gone that way. Why it didn't? I don't know. There we go. I'm going to watch this, follow it along. I did just get a message saying I haven't handed up enough for one of my modules. I need to message that teacher and find out what he needs. Just going to. What am I doing? What am I doing? He's not even here. Oh, that's weird. Weird. Okay. So you can see how slow it's going. And see how many vertexes there is in that body. It's way too much. The body is, I think, the body was coming through a little bit. Not quite sure why I'm trying to select all this stuff. Oh, I think I'm just trying to. I don't know what I'm trying. I think I'm trying to make the body transparent. I think. I don't know. It has been a while since I've used Maya in this video. What did I model in Maya for the Sci-Fi RPG? I did the player in Mudbox and rigged it in Maya and did the same for the enemy. In terms of 3D modeling, I don't really think I've done anything. I did a bullet, but that was literally just a cube and I collapsed each end so that you got that weird kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it, trapezoid-y type shape. I did that. So this would have been like for modeling for this kind of hard surface stuff. This would have been the first big thing I've done in Maya, possibly this year. Possibly. So I'm just trying to get used to how to do things again on it. So that's why it's not going great. And I'm making some weird mistakes. Like, why is there another? Why is it being duplicated? I've had this issue so many times. So I'm just emailing my teacher. This is why I don't get why our course coordinator is emailing us saying you're missing work, and the teacher of the module is not emailing us telling us what we're missing. The course coordinator is just like, if I tell you that you're missing work, then contact your teacher and find out what you're missing. Why doesn't the teacher just get in contact with the people and go, here, you're missing this, this, and this? I don't know. Not the point of this video. Anyway, we'll see if he gets back to me. So I'm just trying to get, we're spending a lot of time on the chest plate because I'm having issues. We're going to go around, just kind of move it in, and then I'll target weld some of these vertexes together so that these are actually become one piece as opposed to 3 different pieces. Should be rotating this around so that it starts facing under the arm, otherwise I'm going to get some weirdness. I feel like this is going to be a very boring video. That's the only thing, because you're just watching this all the time. So that's my worry. That's why I don't really want to have an hour of this. If this is a very boring video, I do apologize. But once we get through it, we can get to the more interesting stuff. So at least there's that. Once this is over, we're past the boring shit, and we can get onto the fun shit. Of course, now I have to keep on my fucking phone. See if I can find out what I'm missing. So we're just gonna blah 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 blah, blah, rotate that around, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. I should just do like a time lapse. What I would do is speed this up in editing, but that means that I would actually have to record the whole 2-hour video again, or I guess I could take the original footage, find out when I want to speed it up. That's just a lot of editing. I can just scrub through it, which is basically the same thing as speeding it up, only I can speed it up and talk at the same time. So you can see it slowly going around the chest and shoulders. I'm just trying to give it a bit of definition. That's me target welding so that it becomes one bit. So you can see it's kind of worked. I think, I wasn't happy with the finished result, but I think Substance Painter can fix a lot of issues. I've said it before. Substance Painter is great for covering mistakes that you've done in modeling or bad modeling. It can make things look good. So I think if I had gotten the UV maps to work and gotten it into Substance Painter, I could have made it look kind of cool. But I couldn't, and I didn't. And I'm actually happy with the Enemy 2.0. So yes, so I'm gonna try. So I'm using Mirror, or I will be. I'm not using it yet. I think I was just trying to find out where it was, or I'm just testing it. Because I only want to have to do this for one half of the body and then mirror it over so that it connects. I did get some issues with it, but seeing as it's not even a finished piece yet, we don't really need to worry about mirroring. We will see that once I finished. So then I just do one big band to go under the arm. And then we'll connect this up down here and bring it around to the middle of the back, and then just bring it down to the waist. And kind of do the same thing around the legs, around the crotch area and the seat. And then we will start doing arms and legs. This will tell you how long this will take, right? This is a 2.5-hour video. Arms and legs are the next recording, not this one. And then I think there's a third recording that is hands and boots, gloves and boots. And then I scrapped the whole thing. Oh God, I spent so much time on this. So much time. But you can't be precious about your work. That's the whole thing. I spent about 3 days, I think it was in total doing this. And I ended up having to scrap it. And that's just the way it goes. And then I ended up making Enemy 2.0 in about a day. And that looked a lot better and works a lot better. So cool. In the last video, we were working on the shader graph to get the dissolve effect. I never got to put it onto the enemy in that video, and I didn't record myself doing it. I had issues where it wasn't working. And after some research, I found out it wasn't working because I'd never UV mapped the enemy. So I'd have to UV map it. And when I was UV mapping, I figured, oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well do the armor and stuff and make it low poly while I'm in Maya anyway. So that's how this all started. And then I try to give him map this and it doesn't fucking work anyway. And oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So we'll just, so you see it's just shaping it around the body. Rotating the edge. I have loads of issues with this kind of stuff. Well, I should be selecting both edges really. There you go. And then, but it's hard to tell because it's like, what? But that's right, because it's rotating this down, which is pushing this up. I don't know. This is not the best way to do this at all. In fact, this is probably the worst way to try and model armor on something. Like quad draw is right there. That tool is much better. Much easier to use, and it, I think it's a thing that you can select the mesh, and then any polygon you draw, it sticks to the mesh. Although I tried to do it for something. Was it this? I tried to do it for some. This is the only thing I could think of that I would have tried to do it for. Because I didn't do it on the player. I didn't do it on the end. No, I did. I did it on the enemy 2.0. I think it. No, it was this. It was this guy because he has that little chin thing and that caused an issue as well. Yeah, so quad draw, it will adhere to the mesh. Usually quite well, but I got to a point where when I got to the neck, it wouldn't stick to the neck. It was sticking like miles out, and I couldn't fix that either. So I just had loads of issues with this. It's because I just modeled it in Mudbox and never actually thought about what I was going to do with it afterwards. Also, I never retopologized it, so this is just a massive Mudbox mesh. So I just had so many issues. This was just bad. I needed a prototype enemy. I banged something together in about an hour in college, and used it to test within the game. And for the testing purposes, it was fine. Other than the high poly frame rate issues. Oh, you can see just a couple more issues, but we get through them. Some bad geometry. Some very bad geometry. Again, but we persevere because it's what we do. You got to persevere. You can't just give up. And we try and get it looking somewhat like armor. Somewhat like armor. Just keep going, get around the shoulder. And thankfully Maya has a mirror thing. Otherwise, could you imagine having to do this for the whole body? Like 2.5 hours for one side, for one half. So that's like, 5 hours to do the whole thing. And that's not even arms or legs or gloves or boots. Insanity is what that would be. I wonder if I get to the quad draw. Why would I have used it on this if I'm not using it now? That just makes no sense. Unless oh, there he is. Hello. So this is him in Unity. I don't know why I jumped back into Unity because I'm not finished. Strange. Now we're back in here. Just trying to get it around the shoulder. This was like a really awkward bit to get done. Because I was also conscious that I needed to have enough, and I don't think I ended up having enough anyway, because I can't count. I needed enough. Not enough. I mean, it didn't really matter for this side, but I needed to have the same amount of connecting points at the top of the arm to connect into this. And I was trying to keep it as low as possible, again, because low poly. But I eventually get this around and hooked up around the back. Yeah, just tweaking it, bringing it down. Then I connected up this bit. I think I even did this in a bad way. Like this, now I'm like, huh. So this needs to connect to this, but where does it connect to? Do I connect it? How do I connect it? Because they're kind of rotated differently, facing different direction. This whole thing was just bad. It's making me feel sad watching it. I'm like, oh no, was I really that bad? Um, it's having to relive it. It's not that it was bad. It was just that it was so much work that ended up not working out, and it was a pain. And in the end, I was like, oh, I had to delete it all and not use it. Um, so just to sit and have to look at how much time I spent doing it, all for nothing. But I have heard that it still happens to professionals. Like, you can spend a couple of days going down one route only to find out that route doesn't work, or the concept changes and all the work that you've done has to be scrapped and you have to start from scratch again. That happens in the industry. It happens professionally. It happens for indies. It happens as you're learning. So this is just a way to learn how to deal with that. You get the experience of it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm okay. No, I'm fine. So we just try to bring it around so we can attach it in some. Well, that was a little bit better. So I made a little corner for it to hook into, and maybe I could hook these up to these bits. Oh, it looks like I'm just going to bridge, not bevel, bridge between them. Will it work? No, it deleted those holes. Okay, definitely didn't want that. Stupid Maya. Yeah, if ever you're having a problem with software like this, where it's like it's not working, and you're like, it's this software is stupid, it's usually your own fault. You know what they say? Don't blame the tool, blame the person using it. And I probably cursed Maya a lot, and I've cursed Unity a lot when things don't work, and it's always something stupid that I've done when I figure it out. So they say don't blame the tool, but I'm just like, well, I'm a fucking tool, so I blame myself. I'll do what I want, okay? We just go, we bring it in, try and mash it together somehow because I'm getting sick of it at this stage. So now we have like almost a chest piece. It's now flattened itself because mirror. I had some issues with the mirroring because mine is stupid. It's the tool, I swear. I do figure it out eventually. There we can see it mirroring the wrong way on the wrong axis. We kind of want it to mirror across the what would it be in Maya? If you look down here, I'm gonna take it away. You'll see the axes in Maya. So you've got Z, X, Y. So I want to mirror it across. If I rotate it around, I would actually see what axis that is. Looks the X-axis probably. It's usually the X-axis. So we're doing it on the X-axis there. And then I can just move it out, and it gets to a little bit weird, but that's fine, because I haven't actually built it out to the middle of the back. That's why it's not connecting at the back. But at least now I know that will work if I just continue on doing what I was doing. And just tweak it around, bring it in. See, my idea is to do the armor and then delete the body underneath it. So that will get rid of all those polys. That's the idea of this. That's how I'm going to make it lower poly. So I'm trying to get all this like conforming to the body, and I should do that for to get the shape right. But there's bits where I see the body kind of poke through, and I spend a lot of time trying to stop that happening, even though I know I'm going to be deleting the body anyway, so it's not a huge issue. It's just me being strange. And we're just going to scrub through more of this, just bring it down so we can get to the waist. And just get it out, line it up with everything, make it look cool. So much work. Bring it around the neck, back of the neck, and bring it more down, more down, more down. And again, the same amount of edges as are on the other side so that I can connect them up. So connect that to that, connect that to that. That's been connected to that. That's going to be connected, yeah. So I can make all this one piece, and then I'm obviously going to have to go out and, tweak these and make them look better. Oh, there's so much work. Vertex by vertex, like, ugh. I remember seeing a video a year or two ago of somebody modeling a character, and they had a reference image, and they started out with a cube. With just extruding that cube, they went around and made the entire. I think they just did the head. Did they just do the head? I think they actually did the whole thing. Now, obviously, they sped it up, so it was a time-lapse video. But even still, and they must have been like an incredibly experienced 3D modeler because they didn't have any issues. And they just flew through it, and they made it look easy, and it was just using a cube, extruded out, extruded around, similar to this kind of idea. They made it look so easy. Me doing it here, it was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. I never want to have to do this again. Work smart. That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to plan things out. I'm going to think of what these things are going to be used for in the future and how I'm going to have to work on them, and I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible for myself, because this was just nightmare stuff. So we just get it around. I'm going to try and get all of this armor work into one video for you guys, so you'll only have to sit through an hour of what probably took me, like, I mean, there's an hour left on this recording, there's 2 other recordings left, so we're just going to scrub through all this, because it's all the same. I'm just pulling verts, mirror it over, try to line it up, get a load of bad geometry and stupid shit, but kind of mash it together as best I can, and then try to fix the problem. That's the point I'm at with this at the minute, or was at with that. That's just a face poking through somehow. So it's one of the back faces, I guess. I think I even end up going in and got like deleting all these back faces because I don't need them. You're not going to be able to see inside the armor. I feel like there is actually a way that I could have just selected all the faces and then just turned double-sided off if double-sided is on for this. Even that I didn't think of, because at this stage I've just been, just nightmare. I'm not going to make excuses for myself. I was a fucking idiot, right? But there's so much to remember in 3D modeling that sometimes you forget that the tools are there. And you just do the most basic shit that you can remember to get the outcome that you want. So we're not going to just random verts. We're going to hook all these up together down the front. Or at least we're going to try. It's not a slot for his dick to come out, don't worry. Fill that in. Come on. It won't bridge for some reason, and I don't fucking know why. So then I just add a smoothing group to it. Turn smoothing on just to see how it's going to look. Ironically, that does increase the poly count, but not by as much. That was just terrible. What are you doing? Stop being an idiot. Embarrassing me on YouTube, guys. Come on. Oh god, this is still so much left. Oh my god, this is insane. I spent so much time on this. And then deleted it all. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh jeez. Nightmare. Absolute fracking nightmare. But I've got a top piece at least. There you go. See, when you turn on smoothing, you can see where there's geometry issues. And I'm getting geometry issues here. I don't know why I'm doing that. Stop being an idiot! Fuck. Because I have in the past had a lot of issues where there's been like duplicate verts on top of each other, or verts would not be welded. I think it happens here somewhere. So we might find that and see, and usually if you put smoothing on and you see some errors, that'll show you where it's called non-manifold geometry, I think. It seems like every time I've tried to use Maya, I get non-manifold geometry somehow, and it's always to do with my extruding, and I don't know why it's doing that. Because I just click extrude, so why are the verts either being duplicated or they're not being welded together properly? So it'll look fine when you look at it, but let's say I took this vert and pulled it, it wouldn't be attached to this line, even though it looks like it is. And it probably is here, but this is the problem that I'm having. So then I'd have to weld it, and then I'd take it again, and I'd pull it, and it wouldn't be attached to this one. And I'd weld it together, and it wouldn't be attached to this one, so I'd have to like weld the same vert 4 times so it would actually be connected to everything. And I'd have multiple verts like that over the entire geometry. The captain's chair that I modeled had a lot of that. Still has it because I haven't fixed it. And that translated over into Substance Painter. But it was one chair. I decided to model it because I thought modeling one chair would be easy. It wasn't. So I said, fuck it, I have much more important things to do than spend days and days on one chair. Especially one chair that's only used once in part of the level that the player is not going to spend much time in. Because even though you start in the bridge, you start away from the captain's chair. The captain's chair is behind the player, and you don't really need to go back to the bridge. So if the player never turns around, he never sees the captain's chair. At all. Ever. So why am I spending like days on it, a week almost, on a captain's chair when I had much more important things to be doing? Now I will go back to fix it. Might redo it entirely. I have had other ideas, but I need to do a list of what's left to do and then prioritize that list. And we will do that. So we'll just skip ahead. Oh, there was a bit of... No, that was just a face coming in. A back face. I'm cleaning it up. It's not looking terrible. I mean, even just adding smooth to it, turning smoothing on it is making it look a little bit better. I'm just trying to neaten it up, but it is basically just this. I mean, yeah. Oh, excuse me. Choking on my own sadness. Yeah, I know, buddy. You were a good enemy, but unfortunately, you just weren't good enough. So we get through all this. The rest of this is just me basically tweaking it, just trying to give it a little bit more shape, make it look a little bit more interesting and less bland, I guess. But there we go. That's my armor. And we're just going to go into the next one, which should be... We're still here. Oh no. Just don't know what that is. Mute that. Just had something on in the background when I was recording this. I don't know what it was. So I'm going to use a cylinder. I'm going to use this for the arm. And if I get this working, when I get this working, I'll duplicate it and put it over into the other arm. This one is an hour and a half. This, guys, so much time. So much time spent on this. That's terrible. I'd like to say that I learned from this. This was a good learning experience. This was days spent on something that actually wasn't what it didn't end up looking the way I wanted it to, or as good as I wanted it to. But the next enemy I go on to make, I did it in a day and it looked so much better. And I went a lot quicker. So I'd like to say that the reason that went so well is because I went through this absolute nightmare. And I didn't want to go through it again. So I learned a lot from making an absolutely stupid mistake. Not stupid mistake. I'm being too hard on myself. I know. I'm just annoyed. I mean, basically it looks like somebody's cut out a cardboard box, taken some like toilet roll cylinders, and it's like a kid making armor out of that kind of stuff. That's what this ends up looking like. So I need to connect this up to this. This is me trying to count. How many edges are there? And did I put enough edges on this? And by my count, I think I got it right. I think, excuse me, or slightly wrong, and I just need to add one or two more. So I'm putting these together. Go to object mode. To attach these together, so that is all one object now. I have to attach them as an object. And now we get the fun bit of welding the verts together. 2, and then we'll see that I don't think I got it exactly right. It was really hard to do around the bottom here, and it really does look like just like a cardboard cylinder or a toilet roll holder on an arm. It's yeah, so you can see I've messed it up a little bit. Also, like, I add in some edge loops here, just multi-cut in some edge loops to give it a bit more stability. It looks terrible. Even if this had worked, and it did occur to me when I was doing it that to animate this, this is like I need more edge loops under here, or like all this would just be awful. Even if this had have worked and I could have UV mapped it, I think when I got to the animating stage, it would have just fallen apart, and I wouldn't have been able to use it anyway. So I'm just trying to line the arm up of the arm of the armor, the arm, to the arm of the enemy's arm. No, I'm done, mate. And then just try and make it look a little bit more like an arm, like armor arm. Just scale stuff and add edge loops to give it, and then this is not looking good. It's got a very flat underarm. This is not good at all. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Oh no, this is terrible. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I'm just cleaning up some verts. That's cool. Oh no. Any word from... No. Oh shit. Now what happens if my teacher doesn't email me back to tell me what I need to hand up? That's going to be a bit of a pain. A pain in the bum. Nobody likes the bum pain, so I've duplicated it over. I'm attaching on the other side, so if we just do the exact same thing, we try and make it... I wonder if I could have used mirror to do that. Probably. Maybe not. Although I could have just, before mirroring it, I could have just done like one side of the armor with the arm and the leg and then mirrored all that over. But that would have worked? That's not how you English good. That's not how you English good at all. And then we just go through it and we cry a little bit more. And we see all this awful geometry and, back faces coming through and just... Ugh, I'm just going to throw up looking at this. 'Tis Scheiße. Merde. It is the poop. And not the good kinds. Like I said, this is the shit. And, but it is not the shit. It is just shit. Just going around the inside, deleting faces. That was a face I did not need to delete. There's a little fucking weird thing here. Just geometry bad everywhere. There's a hole. Oh no. This is awful. This is so awful. It's still in the back of my head. I'm just going, just delete this video. Don't upload it. Just delete it. Delete it. Pretend it never happened. Just say, oh, look, guys, I forgot to record it. But I won't. I promise. This video will be up. Because if I have to sit through this whole fucking thing again, I'm going to force other people to do it too, because it's just, misery loves company. I'm sad. So sad. They were trying to do a belt. I don't know why. Does armor have a belt? Fucking no. I'm not even going off any concept art or anything. I'm just like, they just want something that looks like armor on them. Because they're enemy soldiers, so they should have some kind of like heavy armor. Went a little bit too fast. So the leg. We're on the leg now. Again, same as the arm, just a cylinder, and we're gonna pop it around, make it fit the leg, and then it's gonna expand out at the top, and we're gonna try and figure out how to cup his genitals and his bum area, and make it nice and smooth and comfy for him. It's just not good though. Oh god. I mean, I could probably do a whole series on when 3D modeling goes wrong. Just fill that up. Modeling fails. Oh god. Okay, so we have two legs. We have 2 legs, yeah? This is good, yeah, yeah. Oh, good legs. Good. Oh, mein Gott. Mein Gott, those legs are good. And we bridge over together to make the crotchy area. And then what do we do? I don't know. Then we cry. We cup the genitals very gently, yeah. Bring it around. Yeah, yeah. I knew this is terrible. Oh no. And around the bum. And it just kind of like comes together. That's a very weird shaped bum. Look at that. Just. Oh my god. This is awful. This is just terrible. This is terrible. I'm a pretty positive guy. And I'm positive that this is fucking terrible. That's the smoothing. And the smoothing makes it look so much better, yeah? Oh, so smooth. I don't like. Originally I was, going to use his feet as boots. But also they're still too high poly, so that's what that was. A little mistake. I did find out that Maya has, and is this where I find it? Somewhere in Maya, there is a character generator. I don't know if that's what I found. There is, you can create what is this? Is this it? It's not liking that. Oh, don't just fuck off. You're a tool setting. Get brush, no. Oh, templates, airbrush, is it in here somewhere? Content browser. So you can get these humanoid shapes, and you can bring one in. Could have just done this for the whole armor. There you go, that would have been great armor for him. Character obese, that's mean. So I bring in the humanoid, and then I'm just going to chop his hands off, chop his legs off, the humanoid robot, and use them as gloves and boots. Gloves and boots. So you can see I just chopped him off. I chopped off his feet, and then I added them to this guy's feet. I made them a little bit thicker, because they're big, like, jack boots, is that what they're called? Like soldiers would wear. And even still, I haven't done anything, and there's still fucking problems. All I've done is moved it. For fuck's sake. Maya doesn't like me. Ay. Maya, God. Maya. And then, okay, so I did one, and I wanted to mirror it over. There it is. Just get over to the right place. Oh, disconnected. Just put it over there. And line it up a little bit. I'm deleting his body, so it doesn't matter. And that is feet. So, oh dear God, this one's 4 hours long. 4 hours and 40 minutes. What the fuck do I do for 4 hours and 40 minutes? Is it me 4 hours and 40 minutes trying to get Substance Painter to work? Oh God, guys, I'm so sorry. So we get the feet done. I don't know what this is going to be. I'm honest. Okay. It's just a load of. I think I've given up. That's an hour. Okay. It's an hour of Maya just sitting there. Let's just say I took a break. I took a break from the computer. Oh wow. I took a massive break. Oh, here we go. I took a 2.5 hour break, basically. So this is where I come back in. 2 hours and 27 minutes into the video, I come back and do some work. Well, that's not so bad. Jeez. So I went off for 2 hours and just kind of cried. I'm going to guess that's what I did. Because even just looking back at this for the last 50 minutes, I could already do with a 2 hour cry. And I might have one when I finish recording. It's great. Don't worry about it. Chop off his hand. Chop off that fucking hand. And then we attach it. It does not line up in any way, shape, or form to the body. And I try my best. I spend way too much time trying to kind of make the hand look okay. Get like the fingers to line up a little bit. Even though I know I'm deleting everything under the armor, so this isn't an issue. Might end up being an issue for animating, But seeing as I'm deleting the whole enemy anyway because it doesn't work, I think I'm just gonna lie here and cry. Oh, it's so bad. Oh no. At least I got a comfy chair that I can sit in and watch this BS happen. Is this? I'm melding some of this together, but this isn't the problem I was having. Do I have the problem with this? I don't know what's going on anymore. Look at all this stuff. Crap. Absolute crap. There's still loads. Okay, I'm just going through it, making some changes, trying to tweak it, try to make it look in any way decent. Just a little bit of editing. I'd like to say that no matter how bad your model is, if you spend enough time and tweak enough vertices, you can get it looking right. However, I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that kind of patience either. Look, what the fuck is that? Just some random bit that's attached to something it shouldn't be attached to. Oh. Yeah, we're just gonna, no. I'm just gonna fix that. No, that's fine. That's fine. It wasn't there. Nobody saw it. Okay, I can edit that out. I mean, I won't, but I could. Just edit this whole fucking video out. I feel like what I might just do is have the start of this video with me being, hey guys, welcome to, let's make a Sci-Fi RPG part 8. Alright, thanks for watching. And then just cut out all the bits in between. So hands, they still don't line up properly. I get, like, it's just awful. Because even though, I don't know if I've deleted the stuff or just turned it off right now, but this doesn't really, it just keeps poking through because I haven't got them lined up properly. So then I try to attach it. Oh, and that's not a good idea. Attaching it was not, because then it's like, oh, it looks really weird. It's you'll see, trust me. And again, for animating, this was just a bad idea all around. Bad times. Checking my vertices. Now, what am I doing? I'm just going to move that in, am I? Yeah, just to get a bit of a bigger bulge so that the enemy doesn't feel quite so bad about himself. Oh well, it's a guy thing. And this is my UV map. No, it's not supposed to look like that. Yeah, it's pretty bullshit. So gotta try it again. You get this, which looks better. You can see there's still a lot of issues. Like this bit's kind of what's going on there. So it's pretty weird. Just all these little bits and pieces. There's just it's not good. I try to fix it. I try to sew bits together, and you can see I just keep like deleting the UV maps and then trying it again. This is just a camera facing UV map. So I want to then try and cut it myself, possibly. This is the head that's left. So I've deleted the rest of the body. This is the head. Now, this head is in no way attached to the armor underneath it. So, like what I did when I attached the arm to the body and the legs, I didn't do that with the head. The head is not attached to the armor. My suspicion is that that's part of what's causing the problem. Because there's like a blank space. And I think maybe it was expected, because I combined it all to one object as well. So it's one object with a blank space between this bit and this bit under the armor, all the way around. So I think that might be the issue. I'm trying to go through it. The head is too high poly for me to actually understand what the fuck is going on there. I should have retopologized it. I did not. I get it to a point where it's actually, the UV maps look okay. So you can see, like, it goes in here, but none of this is actually attached. And I think that was the problem. So I'm trying to make it work. I'm doing my best. And taking a lot of time to do it. So this is my armor. And weird head. So that's what it looked like. Oh god, I'm going into rigging it now? Oh god, no. God, no. This is terrible. It's not going to rig properly. I do a quick rig on this. In an upcoming video that I have already recorded where I'm rigging the player 2.0. I do talk about that button, or this button, which is the quick rig. But it doesn't give you fingers. So in the player 2.0, I'm actually manually rigging it. Which I'm having problems with. So maybe I will, for the time being, if I can't fix it, I might go back to this just for the time being and then try and fix it later once the deadline's gone. Oh, look, move his arm. And you can see it's not as bad as I was expecting. I thought there'd be a lot more deformity under here. And a lot more, I get a lot of like pulling and stuff, so I'm gonna save that. So the rig, it works, it rigs. He moves, he move. So you can see, okay, if you just, yes, this is painting the weights onto the skin, so every bone you click on, if it's white, it will affect that area. So I don't want the head affecting the armor, because if the head moves, he shouldn't be moving the armor, really. The hand should not affect anywhere other than the hand, and it would be the same if you had fingers. You could go down to the finger bones. This video is not specifically about rigging or painting weights. It is more about, it's just sadness for me, really. But we're getting quite close to when I can publish the Player 2.0 videos. Actually, I think the next videos will be the Enemy 2.0, which I rigged that myself. I can't remember. I think I do. So that's what will be coming next, because this doesn't work. So it's not going to, see, all the way around here, this is not connected to the armor. So I think this is causing a problem. Anyway, I am going to leave this here because I don't really do anything else. And also, pretty much just after this, I delete this because it does not work. So, I do apologize for the awful, awful video. I hope it gives you some idea as to, you know, just some of the hardships and lessons you can learn from 3D modeling. And I don't know, maybe you learned something from it. I hope you learned something from it. I certainly think I did. It was not fun to relive. But considering that I went pretty much, once this didn't work, I went straight on to doing Enemy 2.0, and Enemy 2.0 worked a lot better. I think I learned a lot from this. It was tough to rewatch it, but thankfully it was only an hour for you guys, whereas and for me this time, whereas, you know, originally this was days and days of work that I had to, oh, the flashbacks, PTSD. Okay, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to go have a bit of a cry. So thanks for watching, guys. I will understand if you don't like this video, but if you did like the video, then hit the like button. Consider sharing it with anyone you think might be interested in the content, because I am trying to grow this channel as much as possible. And hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon thingy-majigger so that you can keep up to date with all the cool stuff that's coming up. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I will see you all next time.